everybody, welcome back to the vlog. Thank you so much for joining me once again for tea time. Today we have some gunpowder green tea, some hibiscus, a little bit of black sage honey, a bunch of other stuff. Some crazy goodness here. Really, really good. This stuff is good. This gives you that little bit of a pick-me-up. I need it. As I always tell you guys, I infuse tea with intention. There's a reason why I make all the teas that I do. Before I get into this video is going to be all about Adobe cutting the cord and getting away from Adobe. Alternatives. Today, we're going to be focusing on Premiere Pro, an NLE, a non-linear editor. We've done in the past, we started out with Lightroom, we did Photoshop, we did Adobe Illustrator, and a ton of alternatives for all those. Now we're into the editor, video editor. You guys have been asking me for this for a long time, but we're gonna get into that in just a second. Now, before I do, let me get into some housekeeping. You've been asking me for tea, tea recipes, where you can get my tea blends. And I was thinking about, I'm like, you know what? Maybe I should put together some blends. I'll throw a name on them, I'll send them out to you guys, and you can enjoy them. And maybe I'll do it for the holidays. So that's what I'm gonna do. If they go over well for the holidays, maybe I'll keep selling them. If not, then so be it. But I wanted to kind of just give you guys back something and say, you know what, you've been asking me for it for so long, here it is. My tea blends specifically for certain things. I have tea blends for sleeping, I have tea blends to get you pumped up, I got tea blends to detox you. There's a lot of different things. I've been doing this for a couple of decades now. So anyways, that's number one of housekeeping. Number two, Out of the Darkness, the theme for our photo contest that's going on right now over at community.JCristina.com. If you haven't added a photo based on that theme, Out of the Darkness, do so. Once again, community.JCristina.com. Go sign up. It's free. It's a creative Discord server. Get in there, head over to the wall, and post your picture. Because if you're the winner, you will get a Think Tank Retrospective 7 camera bag. Very, very awesome, cool camera bag. About $125, $150 value. So definitely get in there. The last day for admissions for that photo contest will be the 31st of October. All Hallows Eve, Samhain, Halloween, whatever you want to call it. That is the last day. Once again, it's Out of the Darkness is the theme. Definitely go head over there and add in one of your photos. And also, guys, don't forget to go check out some of my brand new products I introduced in the last couple of months. Number one, it's the Aurora microfiber cleaning cloths. Those things are absolutely awesome. Every single person that have tried them out are like amazed. Definitely go check them out. They're cheap. They're great gifts, ideas. Check those out. Also, if you are a guy that shoots mirrorless, or if your sensor is always dirty, I came out with Aurora camera sensor and lens cleaning kits specifically for different cameras. You have one for full frame, one for APS-C sensors, and another one for micro four thirds. They are specifically made for those cameras for cleaning those sensors, especially if you have a mirrorless camera. Those things are dirty all the time, all right? Check those out and they will definitely help you out, I promise you. And what I'm gonna do is, for all of my subscribers out there, there's 26,000 of you now. I can't even believe it. Anyways, thank you. I'll be giving you 20% off everything that's in your shopping cart. So use promo code YT20 at checkout and you'll get 20% off absolutely everything. So all of that housekeeping is done. Straight into the NLEs. Now, non-linear editor. A lot of you people have been asking me for a non-linear editor. What do I use instead of using Adobe Premiere Pro that I used for many, many years? Well, let me give you a little back end, what I use or what I have been using so you know where I'm coming from. I started out using Apple's Final Cut Pro. That was before it was neutered to that Final Cut Pro X nonsense. I used that for many, many years, okay? And it was awesome. It really did a great job. From that, I moved into Adobe Premiere Pro, and I was using Premiere Pro with After Effects and all the rest of this stuff for many years also. Then finally, I broke away from Adobe. You guys know it. If you don't know it, I did. That's what this whole video is based on, this whole series, this whole movement that I created many months ago called Life After Adobe Cutting the Cord. The idea of being able to move away from Adobe, cut the cord, and still be able to be a professional, produce professional quality stuff, okay? And that's what we were doing with this series. So if you have not seen the other videos, one on Illustrator, on Lightroom, on Photoshop, I made a playlist, Life After Adobe, Cutting the Cord. It's a playlist. This video will be also in that playlist. You can watch them all. So check that out. Now, like I said, those are the two packages, the two NLEs that I worked with a lot. Okay, so that's my mindset. That is the type of system that I was using for many, many years. Now, the NLEs that I'm looking for, all right, have certain criteria. And those criteria might be different than yours. But for me, I need to have something that has a ease of use. The GUI, the graphical user interface, needs to be intuitive. Okay, that's number one. Number two, speed of editing. I need to be able to edit these videos quickly. It can't be like this lethargic thing, trying to find this, trying to go through hoops to get things done. Cannot be like that. Also, stability, guys. I cannot be editing a video, I'm halfway done and the thing crashes. Or I have to sit there and save and save and save and save every 30 seconds just because I don't know when the hat's going to drop and things going to crash. That is a notorious thing for NLEs, all right? And then finally, of course, overall value. What am I getting for my money? All right? That's what I'm looking at when I'm looking at these NLEs. So now, let me start out first with the two that most of you already have for free. Number one, you're going to most likely have, if you're an Apple person, you're going to have iMovie. If you are a Windows person, maybe you'll have Movie Maker or something similar. Those are free. They come usually with the software and they are okay. If you're editing your kid's birthday party, you're perfect. That's a good way to go. Now, if you need something a little bit more robust, let's call it, I'm going to give you a list of the video editors that I tested, just so you know what they are. I'm not going to get into all of them because if I did, this video will end up being 45 minutes, an hour, or even longer. And most of you guys don't want to hear it. You want to know what I found to be the best and why I found it to be the best. All right. And I'm going to get into that. But I want to tell you what I looked at. This was about a 2.5 month process. All right. I didn't just go through one or two and say, oh, there you go, I think this is the best. No, I tried. You'll see. So check this out. I tested out Blender, Filmora, Idios Pro, HitFilm, Express, Caden Live, Lightworks, Olive, OpenShot, Power Director, Shotcut, as well as VideoPad. Those are just some of them. I also tested out Apple Final Cut Pro. I've used that forever. I'm using that as a base also. Avid Media Composer First. Also, used to be called Sony. Now it's called Magic's Vegas Pro. And finally, DaVinci Resolve. Now, there is a lot of editors here. And what's very interesting is most of you don't know, but all of the videos that you've been seeing of me, all these last, let's say 2 months of vlogs, most of those vlogs are done with different video editors. And I did this on purpose. Why? Basically, I wanted to see how fast can I edit? Basically, back to those 4 criteria. How easy was it to edit? How quick was it to edit? How stable was that NLE? All right. And then, of course, the overall value. I looked at those when editing these different vlogs, and I didn't tell you which vlogs were done with which video editors. I just did them and just put them out there. Now, I deliberately made them look all the same so that I was able to edit the exact same way, produce the exact same output or close to, and see how long it takes me to do it and how easy it was. Now, some of them were a bit more difficult. Some of them were next to impossible. One of the things that I really looked at that I thought was an important piece of the puzzle is the ability to be able to sync audio with video. Now, I sometimes will record maybe 5, 10 different video clips, and I have one really good audio track running that's going through an RE20 and then into a DBX compressor and then over into an H4n. So I have a really good audio file. I need to now sync it with the crappy audio that's coming in through the camera, right? I need to be able to do it quickly. Now, some of the video editors, you would have to put the high-end audio onto the timeline and then go and nudge and move things around based on your waveform. I don't want to do that. I need to get in there and edit quickly. So some of those editors I looked at and I said, you know what? They don't work for me because they can't do that basic function of just syncing audio with video. If you can't do it, you're basically out. Some of them do it better than others, but I know that Premiere could do it, and I know that Final Cut could do it. And if they can do it, that means the next video editor that I choose needs to be able to do it also. So let's just get into the ones that I decided on and why I decided on them. Now, the third place position was a really difficult position because I wanted to give it to a few different ones. So the ones that I really think that were really good and I want you to definitely look at is Blender. I think it's fantastic for what it is. It does a great job as a basic editor. Also, Filmora, HitFilm, as well as Kdenlive really do a great job. Now, remember, I looked at all of those that I listed, but those are the ones that really stuck out. Now, the second position I would have to give to Vegas Pro. Vegas Pro is a really good NLE. It's come a long way, guys, to when Sony owned it, now Magic's own it, and they've really done a lot with it. I really like the way they have just added a lot of new functionality to it and made it a lot more stable. The problem with it was, number one, it wasn't as stable as my number one pick, number one. And number two, it wasn't as easy to use. It was definitely a lot easier than some, but it wasn't as easy to use. Now, when I say ease of use, let me just highlight one video editor, one NLE, and that is Avid's Media Composer First, or Media Composer. If you guys have ever used an audio editor called Pro Tools by Avid, you know what it looks like. It is the de facto audio editor in the music industry. If you go to any studio anywhere, you're going to find Avid's Pro Tools. That's just it, okay? The problem with that is their NLE looks like Pro Tools. If you are a ones and zeros kind of guy, a mathematical guy, someone that likes to do decimals and say, yeah, I want 13.9 this and that, and then that's great, all right? I can't stand it, guys. I don't like it at all. Now, there's movies that have been made, and they're still being made with Avid. It's non-intuitive, okay? When you come from something that's very intuitive, like a Final Cut or an Adobe Premiere Pro or something where it's just, you dump stuff in there, you're moving, you're shaking, you're getting things to work, the timeline just makes sense, it's just very easy to work. And then you look at Avid, please go download the software. And as I always say, use what I say as just a guide, but not as a de facto, not as a definitive. I'm not that guy that's going to tell you this is what you need to buy and this is why you need to buy it, and that's it. Okay, that's very, very important. I want you guys to do your due diligence and test a lot of these out. Download the trials, check them out, download whatever demos you can and try them all out, and then make a decision what works best for you. Also, bear in mind, guys, I do not get paid by you picking anything that I tell you to pick. I do not have affiliates. I do not work like that. This is an unbiased channel that you've stumbled across if this is your first time here. Okay, bear that in mind. 100% unbiased. If I sell you something, it's going to be my, not someone else's. Keep that in mind. So what I tell you is my thoughts, and I tell you why I think those thoughts. Thunkum, thinkum, something like that. Those thoughts, very important. Okay, keep that in mind. So, Avid, for me, I don't want to look at it all. Like I said, number 2, the second position would be the Vegas Pro. Now, the number 1 position is DaVinci Resolve by Blackmagic. Now, let me also tell you a little quick story so you can see how unbiased I am with this. You would have seen this video about a month and a half ago if it wasn't for the PR person over at Blackmagic. Now, I originally tested out Blackmagic's 16 beta, and the thing was crap, guys. It was crashing all the time. The thing was stuttering. You couldn't edit with it. I was getting like 4 frames per second on a machine that can edit 4K with a breeze. Okay, it was stuttering and stumbling over itself and crashing. So I reached out to the PR person over at Blackmagic. I said, listen, I'm doing a review. This thing is just a hot mess. Are you coming out with a final version of this? If you are, please let me know, because I don't want to review it in this state. They said, you know what, you can download the 15.3 or whatever, check that out because that's much more stable. And I'm going to give you a key code, a code for the full version of 16 as soon as it's available. So I waited, and that's why you guys haven't seen this video. I waited for a month. 16 came out, and I reached out to her, and I said, hey, you know, can I get that code because I really need to get this out because people are asking for it. You know what she told me? Go download the free version, because it's going to have similar features. Yeah. So, is there any love lost between me and Blackmagic? No. If I was in any way biased, would I have picked Blackmagic? No. But bear in mind, guys, PR people, I've been doing this for 2 decades. With Digital Photography Cafe, with my channel, I've talked to people all over the world with all different companies. PR people are flighty. They come and go. To find a good one is very difficult. To find one that stays with the company for an extended period of time is difficult. So don't ever judge a company based on their PR person, because sometimes you just find a bad egg. And here's a perfect example is you have someone that says, listen, I'm going to send you over the key code of the full-blown version so that you can do a really good edit on it. And we're not looking at apples to oranges. We're looking apples to apples, because all the rest of the companies sent me over their packages so I can test them out properly. And this is what I got from the Blackmagic PR person. So like I said, no love lost, but I just wanted to show you that I'm still picking them. Why? Because they truly are the best. Okay, has nothing to do with a bad experience that I had with Blackmagic and their horrible PR girl. Okay, nothing to do with it. Now, why did I pick Blackmagic Resolve? I'm going to tell you. Number 1, you do not have to round trip with this software. What does that mean? Well, when I was using Final Cut, or if I was using Premiere Pro, for example, from Adobe, we would have to round trip, for example, for our audio. If I was doing, let's say, Premiere Pro, I would go over to Adobe's Audition, throw my audio in there, sweeten it up a little bit, take out any kind of noise, whatever, and then send it back over to the NLE. With Blackmagic's DaVinci, you don't have to do that. Built into it, you'll find an audio editor called Fairlight. Is it as good as Audition? No. But is it good enough for everything that I need it for, and most likely what you need it for? Yes. Very important. Number 2, it has a compositor. So instead of having to use, for example, a Adobe After Effects, you can use their Fusion. Now, I do not like their node-based system of compositing, but it's a learning curve. You get past it and you can work with it. Do I like it? Like I said, not so much, but it's okay. But it's built into the software. Once again, I don't have to round trip. Go and do some, let's say, 3D animation or some lower thirds over in After Effects and then bring them on into Premiere. I don't have to do that anymore. I can do it within the software. Also, DaVinci Resolve is a color grader like no other. Most movies were using DaVinci for doing color grading before they even had an NLE built into the software. It just does color grading amazingly. It is an awesome color grader. So you have the audio editor, you have, which is at Fairlight, you have your compositor, which is your Fusion, and you have your color tab for doing color grading like no other. Finally, they've implemented a brand new tab, which is a cut tab that allows you to do primary cuts, let's say, of your video. Why is that important? Well, basically, the way my workflow works is I do a preliminary cut of the entire video from soup to nuts, from beginning to end. I do all of my cuts. I don't want you to see a whole bunch of nonsense. If I rant about something, I'm like, let me take that out. Okay, let's shorten this video up a little bit. I'll take that rant out. Using this cut tab, you can really cut your preliminary cut quickly, really, really quickly. It is awesome. It is a new way of looking at cutting video. Very, very quick. And once again, like I said, speed is one of my criteria. How fast can I bang through this? Okay? That speed of edit is very, very important. And this has it in spades. So all in all, the DaVinci Resolve is by far better than any other one out there, even, guys, if you use the free version. Now, they have two versions. You have the free version and you have the paid version, or their pro version, that is $2.99. Okay. I personally think for $2.99, it's still worth it. I'll fork over that $300 to Blackmagic all day long. You own it. You get all of your upgrades for free for X amount of time. You know, maybe they'll charge an upgrade fee eventually, who knows what. But for the most part, you're getting these updates for free. You're not paying monthly, guys. You're not paying monthly for this software. And that was the whole reason I came out with Life After Adobe, Cutting the Cord. The idea of being able to buy a piece of software instead of renting software was very important to me. Very, very important. I always said that once Adobe went down the subscription model, their need for innovation will die on the vine. And that's exactly what happened. After they went to this subscription model and they're getting money hand over fist, it was all iteration after that. They just made little small, little incremental updates. Nothing big, nothing wow. All right. It was the same old, same old. And that was one of the reasons I said, you know what, enough. Along with the point that Adobe's trade practices, let's say, are not something that I approve of. I don't want to give them my money. There's things that I do not like about how they conduct business. I don't think it's fair. There's a lot of people that have bought Adobe products in the past. They own those Adobe products, and then all of a sudden they will just stop working. And for them to get that purchased product that they purchased for, let's say, $1,300, they have to go through hoops and hours on the phone in Dubai, India, to be able to get their software back up and running if they can. I really do not like the way they work. So guys, these are a bunch of NLEs that I think that you should look at. Look at all of them, check them all out, and see what works the best for you. Some of you guys are working on Mac, some of you guys are working on Linux, others on Windows. No matter what it is, look at this list and find the one specific for your OS and grab them. There is a lot of Linux-based NLEs, video editors, that are available now, whereas there wasn't very many back years ago when I was using Linux every single day. Go over to my website. I'm going to put a link down here, all right? Go to this link. I'll put it also in the description, also in the comments, and you'll be able to see all of these so you don't have to go and copy them down on the screen. Go over there, and anytime there's a new video editor or any other Adobe alternative, I will stick it there in the future. So use that as a reference site. Go take a look. Take all of the prices with a big helping of salt because those prices change all the time. Just like PR people, right, guys? So I didn't want to rant about that PR person. I just couldn't help it. I'm sorry. Anyways, so those are the NLEs. If you enjoyed this, as always, please throw me a big thumbs up. That would be absolutely awesome. And don't forget to smash that subscribe button so you can get all my content when it becomes available, and click the bell icon so when it is available, you will be notified of it. And finally, head over to my website, JCristina.com, where you can find all the photography tools that I've invented for you and me over the years. And hopefully there's something there that you might like. And if there is, please pick it up and support me. That would be stellar. Don't forget, head over to community.jcristina.com, community.jcristina.com. Get into that photo contest. Win that camera back. Brand new think tank. Grab that. It's awesome. And don't forget to check out all of my products over there and use coupon code or promo code YT20. Once again, YT20 at checkout, and you'll get 20% off absolutely everything in that cart. That's it, guys. I'm out of here for the end of the vlog. Many blessings to each and every one of you. Thank you once again for joining me. Take care.